I'm giving away this championship belt once I hit 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and click subscribe today. Welcome back to the Ango Show. I, of course, am Ango, and today we're talking a lot about Fastlane because that is tonight. Big things happening. Clearly, some sort of surprise is going to go down. Some things may have leaked. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But I want to talk about Shinsuke Nakamura. WrestlingNews.co, Steve Fall, they did this incredible interview with Shinsuke Nakamura the day before Fastlane. And this is some really cool stuff that he talked about. Just overall, like watching Shinsuke Nakamura do an interview is fantastic. But he was actually talking about bringing a samurai sword to his entrance. And I thought this was interesting because when you look at Shinsuke Nakamura so far, he has been repackaged very, very well. Like, he is a very credible heel. The presentation, all these small little elements that make of a heel turn for Shinsuke Nakamura, they've just literally been knocked out of the whole park. And I've really enjoyed the fact that him and Seth Rollins they just gel together. There's something there. There's some sort of synergy there where things are just clicking. I'm loving the story. I'm loving the storytelling. I'm loving the matches. I'm loving everything as part of the build. And now we're at Fastlane. Third try. Is it going to happen for Shinsuke? He was talking about how he pitched to WWE bringing a samurai sword with him going forward as part of an entrance. He says, I don't know whose idea it is. Definitely, I can put real emotion into speaking Japanese. I'm also enjoying to talk like that. Sometimes I pitch the idea of my attire and bringing the samurai sword and using karate as a weapon. I'm definitely enjoying what I'm doing right now. Being evil is kind of one of the real things from myself. It's coming from real things. I'm not acting. And, you know, I kind of thought about the samurai sword, and I think it actually could be a cool addition to Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance. Obviously, it just depends on how they go about it. And obviously, we don't know if WWE will do it because Drew McIntyre brought the sword with him. Obviously, a samurai sword is a little bit different, but I think WWE could potentially say, no, we're not going to do this. I'm guessing that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to have a special entrance for Fastlane. And the cool thing about Shinsuke right now is the presentation has been so clean and so nice that bringing a samurai sword, maybe changing up the attire, maybe some different lighting, things like that, just sprucing up his entrance could just be another step in the right direction for the overall presentation of his career. I like Shinsuke Nakamura a lot. And to be honest with you guys, I would love to see Shinsuke Nakamura win the World Championship at least once in WWE. And the reality is he doesn't even need to have a long championship reign. But you know, there's a lot of cool things that they could do with Shinsuke being a champion. Nothing against Seth Rollins. I think Seth is great, but it would just be nice to see WWE. Now that they got something clicking with him, it'd be nice to see WWE commit to him. Guys, is Carlito returning at WWE Fastlane? It seems like it's a very big possibility. Last night on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio told Santos Escobar and Zelina Vega that he had to make a call because obviously they lost out on their partner for the six-man tag against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Two things I really, really want to say here. One, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are absolutely incredible. I absolutely love everything that they're doing right now. Again, little storytelling every single week. There's a little bit of continuity. Things are starting to really get better for them, and there's still so much more that they can accomplish. And what's really cool about this is as that story is evolving, there's actually another story that's evolving, which could potentially be the fall of the LWO. Santos Escobar, Legado del Fantasma, more than likely are going to be out of the group at some point in the near future. But of course, WWE will want to keep the LWO branding. They're going to want to keep that going. And I could see WWE doing some very crazy stuff here. First of all, Rey Mysterio has to call a friend. We know Carlito's been signed to the WWE for a while, but he hasn't been on TV. This is the perfect introduction, and this is how I see things going down. Carlito comes back at Fastlane. He joins LWO officially. He's part of the group. As weeks go by, I think we're going to see Legado del Fantasma and Santos Escobar eventually turn on Rey Mysterio and LWO, and then you're going to have a new version of the LWO, which will consist of Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Carlito. And I think this could be some really cool and unique stuff. I think the idea here long term is to get people to benefit from this group and this stable. And part of that comes from Santos and Legado del Fantasma breaking away from the group. But also, it allows for a guy like Dragon Lee to immediately be on the main roster, with Carlito and Rey Mysterio as two great veterans that could be there for him. And it just allows him to eventually go his route of being a singles guy. Carlito would be a great return for Fastlane. Obviously, WWE has a lot of excitement going into this pay-per-view, especially with the way SmackDown and Raw were this past week. WWE is just literally kicking it up a notch. They're into full gear, like literally. That actually, no pun intended, but they are going into full gear because of the fact that right now there's just a lot of things that they're trying to do with TV ratings, new TV deals. They're putting out a very exciting product. Obviously, it's not perfect, but you bring back Carlito, and the fact that Bobby Lashley and Carlito could be in the ring together, it's just so crazy because it is 2023. But I would welcome this addition. I think it could be really cool for Carlito to be in the LWO. And I think even my idea of Legado del Fantasma eventually breaking away, letting those guys really create their own image on the main roster as heels, I think it's going to be really good. But right now, I'm just in love with all the factions in WWE. I think that's actually one of the stronger points that I didn't necessarily expect from WWE. But all of these different groups coming together, forming together, creating like these super groups. And there's just so much that could be done there. Carlito coming back would be great. I don't know what WWE's plan will be with him long term, because of the fact that he's been signed for a while and hasn't done anything. But the fact that he's back in the company, I expect to see him at Fastlane. We'll see how it all goes down. And that brings us to our final topic of today's video. WWE obviously planning a massive surprise. Now, there's two reasons for this that indicate that WWE has a massive surprise. One, I want to talk about Jade Cargill. According to PW Insider, they basically have come out and dude, like everybody's been talking about this, right? PW Insider broke the news earlier this week that Jade Cargill was expected to be in attendance for Fastlane this week. Now, other sources have come out and confirmed that Jade Cargill has been spotted in Indianapolis ahead of tonight's pay-per-view. Okay, Jade Cargill could very well be a debut. She could very well be a surprise. We've talked about Jade Cargill before, but why do we believe that there's going to be a surprise tonight for Fastlane? Well, after SummerSlam, the belief was that WWE was not going to be doing press conferences after their shows unless it's part of the Big Four. Now, Fastlane is not part of the Big Four. They didn't do a press conference for Payback, so obviously a lot of people were thinking, why would they do a press conference? They're doing a press conference because they're going to do something massive at this show, and they want it broadcasted on a press conference to the world. They went from saying they're not going to do press conferences unless it's a big pay-per-view. Now this is like a BC pay-per-view, and literally they have a press conference plan. Jade Cargill's in attendance. Triple H doing a press conference. I think we get Jade Cargill. Maybe we get the Carlito return. I think that you're going to have a lot of stuff cooking tonight. This is going to be a very, very big Fastlane, and I'm not trying to overhype it, but the reality is WWE, they're teasing CM Punk. They continue to tease CM Punk. They got this Jade Cargill signing. They got a lot of things cooking right now, and to top it all off, now they're planning a press conference. If you don't believe me, just go to the WWE YouTube channel, and it will be there, scheduled for 11:45. Guys, I'm giving away this championship belt at 100,000 subscribers. Don't forget to click subscribe.